The Legacy of Mr. Jinnah. How did Jinnah's example influence subsequent Pakistani leaders? By Kemish Montes. This is an interesting question. It's not a closed-ended question, it's an open-ended question. Most of this is my opinion, and I based my opinion on some resources, but please feel free to join into the conversation of your ideas. After Jinnah died in 1948, 1 year after gaining independence, his vision of a united, prosperous nation, equality between women, men, and children, his distrust to India and foreign relations to gain support against India, and his dream of a secular nation continue to influence Pakistani leaders, and even today. Liaquat Ali Khan was the prime minister, and he and Mr. Jinnah ascended to power together, and both attempted to form a constitution and a parliamentary democracy system like the British Westminster. They were trying to achieve it, but they were not prepared for that. Liaquat Ali Khan failed because the Muslim League and the Constituent Assembly were not equipped to resolve in a parliamentary manner. So they didn't create a constitution nor an organization that would govern the country. So the identity of Pakistan was not resolved at that time, and Liaquat Ali Khan was assassinated in 1949. That decade after Jinnah's death was marked by military action. Even Jinnah recurred to military action. Pakistan was declared independent the 14th of August 1947, and the 15th of August, Balochistan declared independence, and Jinnah took military action to create a united nation. And other people in this decade did the same thing. They didn't like opposition, so they exercised visceral power, like Jinnah. And some people like Ghulam Muhammad relished the dominance that held by Jinnah. Other thing that characterized this decade was the foreign relations with the United States to gain power or to bolster against India, something that Jinnah did even before independence, when they were asked to help the British in the World War II. So he used foreign relations to gain power against India. In that decade, 1956, people were still trying to create a constitution to go into democracy, and the Legislative Assembly in 1956 created a constitution, and most of these people were going in that direction of a secular nation, but they included the Islam as an axiom, and many favored liberal movements, compatible religion with technology and political institutions. So they were very similar to Jinnah's beliefs. So they continued in that direction. Ayub Khan he governed in a period more than a decade. He was a military. He instituted his government through the military, but he continued into this direction of unity, of equality, prosperity, and democracy, although it was a military regimen. And this is really interesting to me. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, he lost elections to the Awami League in 1970, but he was still really influential. And Muhibu, the other person that had more power than Ali Bhutto, won in the East Wing in Bangladesh. And after a lot of fight for the power, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto claimed that there were two majorities and they were not compatible. So in the end, they separated. Just like India separated or Pakistan separated from India, Bangladesh separated from Pakistan, and this was mainly because Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was not willing to create an agreement with Muhibu. Muhibu fought for provincial autonomy, and he achieved, after a lot of struggle, the parliamentary democracy for Bangladesh. And even today, in 2018, Imran Khan was elected the prime minister, and he said he wanted a nation that Jinnah envisioned. And well, his influence continues, as we've seen. During the decades after his death, people wanted or mimicked his visceral power, they relished the power, and his distrust to India still lives in the minds and the hearts of Pakistanis. And his dream of a secular nation was partially achieved through Muhibu achieving independence for Bangladesh, and Bangladesh being a parliamentary democracy, and also the increasing rate of voters and the youngsters gaining a desire for a better life. Again, remember, this is not a closed-ended conversation. This is just my opinion. Please feel free to join into the discussion boards and sharing your comments. Thank you for listening.